Incidentally, both sets of fans at the moment have their own version of this song. The Gunners fans will sing 1-0 to the Arsenal. I don't know what the Parma fans are singing, but it's the same tune.
Arsenal fans have been singing since they started to dribble in on Monday night in the pubs and clubs. There are a lot of English-style pubs in Copenhagen. They've lapped it up, and they've lapped up the local brew, Tennant's Pilsner, the lager, with a difference, of course. A very friendly and accommodating city with its wide open spaces and tree-lined avenues and bronze statues. The Tivoli Gardens have welcomed them. John Jensen has had a tremendous welcome in the commentary positions down below us at the front of what is now the main stand, the A stand as it's called. We think royalty will be here as well tonight. Not Queen Margaret II, she's been queen here for the last 22 years, but Prince Frederick, the Crown Prince, we believe, is going to be here. He's a football nut. When they won the European Championship in 1992, the first person into the Danish dressing rooms to sup an ale or two after that was Crown Prince Frederick. He's going to be here tonight as well to see who'll win the European Cup Winners' Cup final, Arsenal or Parma. Arsenal 4th in the English League, Parma 5th in the Italian League. Arsenal 18 wins from their 41 games, 17 draws. Parma 17 wins from their 34 games, 7 draws. They've scored 50 league goals this season, and Arsenal have scored 3 more than that. Tony Adams is down in the tunnel area behind the referee Václav Krondl of the Czech Republic. His 2 linesmen, Josef Zvonic and Otakar Skractik. He's down there as well, the famous Otakar Skractik. And out come the 2 teams now then. Arsenal led by their own captain Marvel, Tony Adams, and Parma led out by their skipper as well at the front of the line. Out they come, yellow shirts with navy blue epaulets, blue trim to the yellow shorts, blue trim to the yellow socks, as Lorenzo Minotti, their skipper, leads them out. Goalkeeper Luca Bucci springs and jumps next to him. Long shaggy hair and 5 o'clock shadow turned to a beard. And the pink flares are illuminated at the Parma end of the ground, and smoke billows across the lush velveteen green of the Andreas Parken Stadium as the 2 sides are announced to the supporters here. The elongated, removable tunnel is stretched back inwards beneath us.
1970, 24 years of waiting for Arsenal. 14 years, as Matthew says, since their last final, then beaten on penalties by Valencia. It really is the night to write another famous chapter in the history of a famous old club. Let's have a look at the teams very quickly then. Arsenal's resolute defence, led superbly by Tony Adams, stays intact. The midfield without John Jensen, who's injured, further disrupted by the news that David Hillier failed a test today on a dead leg. The Irishman Steve Morrow comes into the midfield for a very important job. Ian Wright out of the attack through suspension, we know. Smith and Campbell then supported by the likes of Merson, looking for the goals of glory for Arsenal here tonight. Parma much more settled, so many internationals in their side and no injuries, no suspensions, and in their attacking areas they really have their major stars. Zola, one of the very best Italians, Brolin, one of Sweden's outstanding players, and then right at the sharp end, the spectacular Asprilla from Colombia. The substitutes, of course, 5 for each club, 2 can play, and included in Arsenal's 5 now the 21-year-old striker Paul Dickhoff, who's not played in an Arsenal first team this season. The referee is Václav Krondl, who's a 40-year-old lawyer from the Czech Republic. Ron Atkinson, your views?
Well, just looking at Tony Adams tossing up there, thinking how much depends upon him. I mean, he's been brilliant all season in this competition. Sometimes you look for a leader. He's a true leader, and he'll have to lead by example today because, as you've mentioned, those 3 front players of Parma's are very, very appetising.
sometimes to worry too much about the people who are out, like Wright and Jensen, and obviously they are big blows. Here's Adams, of course, but you sometimes then tend to overlook the great qualities that remain in this side at Arsenal.
Yes, I mean, I've felt all along. I actually think the opposition are the most talented side. I think they're more talented side. But I've got this thing about Arsenal. Sometimes they say your name is on the cup. I've just had a feeling since we started in Torino and places like that they were destined to win it. Now it's harder, you know, any team that loses the likes of Ian Wright has got to miss a goal scorer of that pedigree. But I think there's enough resilience, enough togetherness to see them through, albeit narrowly, albeit extra time, Brian, albeit penalties. You just get the feeling that it's Arsenal's year.
Parma might just be saying the same. They scraped through in the second round against Maccabi of Haifa on penalties, which was much tougher than they expected. They struggled to get through in the semi-final against 10-man Benfica. Maybe they feel the name of Parma is on this cup. A cup they won last year, and they're trying for the first time to be a club that successfully defends the European Cup Winners' Cup. And away we go. Arsenal then attacking the goal to our right. Di Chiara, the number 3 with the throw. This is Peen, the real little worker in the midfield. Brolin now trying to get Asprilla away, and a marvellous tackle there by Steve Bold, and suddenly Arsenal look wide open at the back there as Brolin and Asprilla, the Colombian, almost forged a golden opening. Ron?
I think that's very, very fortunate that Asprilla wasn't quite aware of the through ball he'd received, because he'd have been banged in on goal.
Asprilla again, but Dixon getting in there, but a free kick to Parma.
I think we'll see Asprilla, although he's the out-and-out frontman. I could imagine him checking off Adams and Ball, not going and standing right up against them, trying to pick it up and run at them.
Zola with the free kick. This is Pete. Sensini. Peen again. They get back to Enarivo, the fullback, playing it patiently around, looking for that decisive pass. Brolin, they say he's playing the best football of his career over the last few months, and he's already shown 1 or 2 very impressive touches tonight, the Swede. This is Sensini again playing the ball in, and that kicked off Adams. That's Asprilla, the Colombian. He's certain to figure prominently in the World Cup in America. Smith chasing after this one. Minotti, the sweeper, with him. And a free kick again to Parma. They reckon Parma just about the best footballing side in Italy, even including Milan. Their credentials are they got a couple of draws in the league against the famous Milan side. They beat them in the Super Cup.
I must admit, Brian, when I saw them play last year, particularly when they beat Antwerp, I thought they were the most exciting team in Europe. And, you know, realistically, they're a more talented side than Arsenal.
But Arsenal have a stickability on these occasions. They get stuck in and they stick to the job in hand. But here's Cripper. Asprilla again. Bold has gone with him. Morrow's job is to look after Brolin, apparently.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a problem there. I was just watching Morrow there. I think he's going to have to pick up whoever goes furthest forward out of Zola or Brolin. I mean, we understood from certain people he was going to man-to-man mark one, then man-to-mark the other. But it looks as if he's going to sit just in front of his 2 centre-halves, and whichever one of their midfield players gets forward the most, he's going to try and pick up. Big, big responsibility there for him. I mean, obviously, the lad who's set just along from you, Johnny Jensen, that's been his province over the last few games. And then Hillier.
Well, that's Steve Morrow, the young Irishman. Yes, John Jensen working for Danish television, just a couple of seats away. Arsenal fans would much rather see him out there in the midfield. But it's not to be his injury, which he received here, playing for Denmark against Hungary a couple of weeks back. This is the Benarivia, the fullback. And Brolin! Well, all the running so far has come from Parma, and particularly from this young Swede. Thomas Brolin.
Well, you see, he's escaped the clutches there of both. He's got it between Bold and Adams. But what was noticeable, Benarivo's made one of those sorties. Now, at Wembley last year, I seem to remember him playing like a flying machine, just driving up and down the side of the pitch. And that was a first-class example. But I mean, that was very, very poor marking from Arsenal. A lot of ball watching went on there.
Sensini comes here, the Argentine player, World Cup player, played in the final last season. Lost in 1990, rather. Keane in quickly. Shrugged off that challenge by Bold. And a foul by Selly there. A free kick again to Parma, who are really dominating these opening exchanges. That was the reason for the free kick. Creeper, Ron, yep.
I think what you see with Parma as well, they'll keep the ball out on this side of the pitch a little bit, left-hand side, put little passes together, and then they'll try and spread it quickly out to the right-back, Benariva. Now that's where Merson has got an important job to do for the side in terms of his defensive qualities.
This is Payne taking the ball from De Chiara. Steve Bold getting it away, but again not very convincingly. The flag is up for an offside against Asprilla.
They're reversing the roles a little bit as well, aren't they? They're trying to prevent Arsenal from settling and getting into their stride. After all, the champions, they won the cup last year and they're defending it like champions at the moment. They've come off the front foot, as we say.
This is the Brolin chance again. The ball floated in by the fullback.
Must admit, once he'd made contact, you know, I thought he'd actually lobbed Seaman there.
Here's Smith. Troubled times for Arsenal these. They've got to keep their spirit high. Their determination with it. Selly going in there on two challenges, and now Arsenal get a free kick. Well, we know how useful Arsenal can be from set pieces. Paul Davis behind this one. It's worked once or twice before. Both Bold and Adams are going forward, and an opportunity possibly for Arsenal to relieve the pressure a little bit from the other end. Smith in there, another six-footer, of course. And just look how they're jockeying for position there. The Italians are well aware of the problem. Floating it in towards Bold on the far side. It came off an Italian head for Arsenal's corner. Bold stays up there. And in Bucci, they haven't got the biggest goalkeeper in the world. I think he's probably at about 5'10". Bold at the near post, looking for the little flick on. Doesn't quite get it. Just past the far post. Kevin Campbell there.
Well, that's a glorious little nick on, isn't he? There's the one. He just managed to get a little eyebrows, back header on it. Noticeable, nobody defending the back post as well for Parma. You just have a hunch that Ian Wright may have been on that second ball then. I could just imagine Ian Wright operating around that post and just picking up a little goal then.
Merson to Selly, to Campbell. Here come Arsenal now. Smith looking to get hold of this one. Merson. Winterburn on the far side. Flicked in again for Merson. Good play here by Arsenal. Morrow hitting one in. And Bucci gathering it quite comfortably for Parma. Asprilla versus Adams. Dixon gets it forward. Asprilla getting rather gingerly to his feet and complaining, but I saw no foul there. Winterburn knocking it forward to Smith. Davis. Winterburn again. Sensini gets it clear. Not a full house here by any means, but a noisy one, and the Arsenal fans certainly outnumbering those from Parma. Minotti playing it for Apolloni. And now Pin, a little workhorse in the midfield. Here he is. Crepa plays down that left side. It was a foul by Morrow. Can't really complain about that, and he's not, to be fair.
Got to be doubly sure. They did very well against the French Paris Saint-Germain Arsenal in not giving free kicks away on the edge of the box. You've got to make sure with the likes of Zola and that about Bryant, they're not giving free kicks away around the 18-yard area.
Absolutely. It's a throw then, Di Chiara, the fullback. This is Zola. Kripa. Merson on the far side with a header here, being challenged by Asprilla, who wins it. Asprilla. Shot charged down by Bold. Kripa. Winterburn stabs it forward. Here comes Merson, but the flick ball goes straight to Kripa again. Arsenal so depending upon Bold and Adams stabilising things at the back, and Bold has given away the free kick again.
I think it's a touch unfortunate there.
I think he was.
I think Asprilla's tried to flick it to a non-existent goalie.
Minotti is a dangerous man from this sort of situation with this sort of free kick, although it's a long way out. Asprilla, Sensini is right up there, Kripa is in there too, and also Apolloni. Looks as though it'll be Minotti who takes it. Driven well wide. Cheers from the Arsenal fans.
Thought it was a long way out, didn't you? But you're just a little bit low to say it's too far out.
Through the wall, but well wide of the post. Certainly Arsenal staff, the backroom staff who've been looking at Parma, have been saying that this is going to be our toughest task of the European campaign. Tougher than Torino, tougher than Paris Saint-Germain, and I must say in the opening few minutes, 10 minutes or so, it looks to be the fact. A foul on Di Chiara, another free kick to Parma. George Graham and Stuart Houston there. Arsenal manager and coach. Lorenzo, or rather Nestor Sensini. Zola playing it short for Keane. Here's Brolin. Noticeable that Merson was right back there then.
He's going to have to spend a fair amount of the game back there. Benarivi's going to try and win that battle and force the issue a little bit. Having said that, it might well be that Paul Merson has got to, at some given time in the game, take the game to him and make Benarivi defend.
Knocked forward by Selly. Sensini, the Argentine. Moreau shepherding it back to David Seaman. Tony Adams on the centre line, urging everybody now into the Parma half. Get forward, he says, and Seaman bangs a long ball forward there towards Alan Smith. Davis getting in there, flag goes up for an offside, free kick to Parma.
Actually, Parma operates a little bit like AC Milan in that respect. They don't play with a deep sweeper, they play with a fairly flat back four, who will push up at every given opportunity and try and catch Arsenal offside.
Is saying push forward, push up. You could probably lip read it. Well, they're pushing forward now with Winterburn. They've had a great start, Parma, but they are by no means unbeatable. They've lost 10 times in the Italian First Division Serie A this season. Davis knocking it forward. Campbell, can he get on the end of this? My goodness, there was a great chance, and Selly was in there as well. A little chip, but it come for Paul Davis. There was a great chance though for Campbell, and suddenly Asprilla is breaking away for Parma, and how he's breaking away. Zola's in there, Brolin on the far side. Bold is coming across there. Brolin with a great chance against the post. My goodness, there should have been a goal at one end, and there was so very nearly at the other. What an amazing minute of the game that was.
Well, this is incredible stuff. I must admit, he struck that terribly well, Brolin. Inside of the post, Locke's ridden a little bit with that, well, a lot with Arsenal. That's a great strike, that. I mean, it just shows the danger of these. At one stage, Campbell should have been putting Arsenal in the lead. 30 seconds later, or less than 30 seconds later, they're nearly one down.
Still 0-0. Well, they were devastating on that breakaway, wasn't it? The speed of Asprilla. And Zola was in there too, and Brolin was waiting on the far side. And this is the Campbell chance.
Yeah, I wonder whether he might have been better just hooking it with his left foot there. He's got a bit clumsy with his control at the end of it. But originally, he just thought he might have taken a chance and hooked it with his left foot.
Here come Parma again, this man Asprilla. He's got Di Chiara, the fullback, outside him. Oh my goodness, and was just caught offside. You were going to make a point.
I'm just going to say he looks far more dangerous when he's got space to run in, doesn't he? I mean, they are a very, very quick counter-attacking side. There's no more effective player than Asprilla.
Il servizio sicurezza danese invita i tifosi italiani a rimanere seduti. In caso contrario sarà necessario l'intervento del servizio d'ordine. Grazie.
Dixon up. Selly. Let me just remind you, there's another chance to enter at half-time our World Cup competition. Remember, the winner gets a fabulous trip to the World Cup final in California in July. That comes up at half-time, so stand by for that. As Tony Adams releases the ball over the byline, a goal kick to Arsenal. In fact, the referee's given a free kick. There must have been some shoving by Asprilla on the back of the Arsenal captain. Smith glancing it on, Sensini getting it away. A real big up and under, and Bold gets it back under pressure from Zola.
They're particularly cute, Zola and Brolin. They're not prepared to stand against defenders and be marked. 1 minute they push forward, next minute they check off into little areas that are very difficult to be marked. Particularly when I know Bold and Adams would like to have strikers standing up against them so they could battle them all evening. Also, the player that's impressed me very much, I must say, has been the number 9, Kuiper. He seems to have been well in control of the central areas.
Brolin beaten in the air by Bold. Up goes Davis, in goes Smith. Arsenal get a throw, it just flicked off Minotti. Arsenal with the best defensive record in the Premiership, remember, and you feel that's a record they need to have alongside them against Parma tonight. Parma, for their part, incidentally, only Milan and Juventus have better defensive records in the Serie A. Good work here by Merson, nimble work, but in the end there's no end product, and Pin gets it to Brolin. Fullback Benarivo. Here's Merson again, taking it from Davis. Crippa playing a simple ball forward to Asprilla. No foul. Dixon feeds Davis. Davis persuading Campbell to get down that byline. Stumble by Minotti. In fact, well, he's given a throw, whether he's given a free kick to Arsenal. He's given a free kick to Arsenal. Davis will take it. Well, George Graham will hope for something here. He's seen both Adams and Bold go forward. Smith in there, Merson in there, Campbell, another big man, of course, in there. Morrow just outside the box. And again, nobody on the goal line defending for Parma. Hit long towards Tony Adams. There's his header. And Crippa in the end gets it away. Watch out, Arsenal. Here comes the breakaway again, up to Asprilla. Brolin's got up there quickly with him. Good challenge though by Winterburn, I think it was. Missed that one though, but he just held them up long enough. Benarivio. Apolloni. Up to Brolin. Pin. This is Sensini, who scored the winner in the semi-final against Benfica, the Argentine, from a corner. So they need to be watched on set pieces as well. Little touch there by Merson.
You know, it must be encouraging to George Graham. They've actually looked second best as a team at the moment, and yet they've had 2, possibly 3 good chances to score. 2 of them noticeably by free kicks, and I know the Arsenal staff feel they always do well on set plays anyway, Arsenal, but I think they do feel that Parma are very, very vulnerable against corners and free kicks.
Morrow to Selly. A lot of space here for Lee Dixon. Five of this Parma side were in the team that played at Wembley last year when they beat Antwerp in the final. Gave such a good performance then. Smith, Dixon. Acrobatics, but it comes for Smith. It's a goal for Arsenal. Alan Smith, a super strike for the Gunners. A mistake in the Parma defence, and very heavily punished indeed. They've looked second best so far, but my goodness, they're in the lead. There was the mistake. There's Smith on his chest.
Full mark.
Left foot volley, just nicked in off the post, and Arsenal in the lead.
Full marks for Smith. What a great strike. Couldn't have been fractionally better, could he?
Not been the most prolific of goal scorers this season, Alan Smith. That's only the 7th, but my goodness, I doubt there's ever been a better one for him. Well, certainly a more important one. Now let's see. They are so confident, the Italians, talking to their supporters last night and to their journalists again today. Oh yeah, we're very confident, they said. No second measures, but now they've got something to aim for. They've got a free kick. Asprilla and Zola behind it. Minotti up from the back. Brolin will be an irritation there. Asprilla. Dixon whacks it away. Seaman was just behind him, untroubled. Dixon, a corner given. Dixon and Campbell, in fact Campbell put Dixon into a difficult position there, and Dixon, as you can see, was none too happy with it, and Arsenal are none too happy with this. They've conceded a corner quite needlessly here. There it comes from Zola, floated in and over the back of the net. It's a goal kick for Arsenal.
It's so important now, isn't it, having got that advantage, but they calm it down a little bit, don't encourage the Italians back into the game. Certainly the last thing they want is a quick equaliser against them. They want to bed down now, take that goal a little bit further, knowing full well that other chances will come their way. Such, and if he can stick them any more away like that, that would be brilliant. And it's sometimes the ball just falls right to you, didn't it? It fell brilliantly to him then.
Halfway through the first half now, Arsenal leading 1-0. Alan Smith, the scorer of the goal. Davis. Morrow really crashing across there to challenge Pin for that one. Steve Morrow, here's Pin. It's a throw for Parma. Asprilla. Minotti. I think it was Minotti's mistake, wasn't it, that put Smith in. That's a good ball, in for Pin again. Quickly challenged by Merson, and fairly so. And suddenly 3 against 3. Smith has gone away to the left. Campbell is away through the centre. And Smith is on that far side. Will it come for Campbell? Well, he's having a battle for it, and very sensibly he's played it wide for Winterburn. Now, a good cross possibly towards Alan Smith again, battling with Apolloni. And Di Chiara brings it away now for Parma. Kripa. Asprilla, beaten by Adams. Selly, knocking it wide for Winterburn. In for Selly again. But he gives it to Brolin. Dangerous thing to do. Enrivo hitting a ball through towards Asprilla again. And a free kick given. Arsenal disputing that. But there's real danger here now. It's no more than a yard outside the penalty area. The wall has got to be well formed. Sorry,
Ron.
Ron.
Scandalous decision to me. Asprilla just appeared to fall over. I mean, I think he was expecting Tony Adams to whack him in the back. And Tony Adams was very patient, didn't really make contact with him, and I think they bought themselves a bit of a result there. This would be a tragedy if this went in.
Well,
I think we might see Dixon. I was watching that earlier corner, just from a distance. I think you might see Dixon trying to nick onto the line here, knowing full well that Zola can bend one over the top. Winterburn's in a position where he might go for it.
Zola might be favoured, I think, to flick one over the wall here. Complaining that Adams is not 10 yards back. Asprilla's in there too. Winterburn's on the line, playing a couple of them on side, beyond the Arsenal wall. A lot of shouting going on there amongst the Parma players. Is it going to be Zola? We'll try and flick one. A little chip from him, maybe. Wow. Roars of approval from the Arsenal fans there. And I think Tony Adams is going to get a yellow card. I think the danger's not over for Arsenal. I think they've got to take it again. I think they're complaining that Adams encroached.
He was about a yard off the ball when he hit it right. I mean, you talk about blocking a free kick. He absolutely threw himself out at that one. There's cat and mouse going on the line now. The Parma players don't know whether they're going close on the line or be caught offside.
Zola gets a second chance, and Arsenal is still in a bit of trouble here. Winterburn's come off the line, then he's gone back the line. They don't quite know where to go. I hope he's not going to put Seaman off. All this fun and games just in front of him. Here comes Zola for his second strike at it. That's a better one, but it's over the top, and Arsenal are safe again.
That was quite interesting on the line there. Winterburn was playing cat and mouse, and look at him, he's catching them offside. He's got the fours offside actually there.
All academic in the end because the ball finished.
The linesman actually flagged for it, Brian. The linesman actually flagged for offside there, yeah. As you say, the best result is the one that goes on top of the net.
Back to Bucci. Let's have a quick where we're going, Newborn.
Well, down on the Arsenal bench, they're worried about the part that Zola's playing. They've asked Steve Morrow to sit right in front of Bold and Adams because Zola is pushing back the back four, and they want that to equalise the way that Zola nips off the back four and takes up the midfield position. They are very worried about Zola.
Thank you, Gary. Adams did get a yellow card, didn't he, Ron?
That's right, yeah. I mean, he absolutely hurled himself out in the first free kick.
Well, it's a throw. Benarivio with the throw for Parma. Asprilla. It's a corner. Conceded under great pressure by Nigel Winterburn. Zola's going across to take it. Takes all the corners. Fair number of the free kicks. To be marked up well here, Arsenal. They've got it clear. Benarivo, offside. Free kick for Arsenal. Arsenal player down, Smith, the man who scored. Is it Ian Silly? No, it's Nigel Winterburn. Winterburn, who was injured in the previous game against Paris Saint-Germain.
I hope that's not being a bit alarmist, but it looks like the first aid or whatever people they are have raced straight on with a stretcher.
Well, I think the referee, in fact, indicated a stretcher. I don't know why he did that, but George Graham having a word with Lee Dixon and Steve Bold coming in, Stuart Houston there as well. So there's a big high-level conference which the UEFA representative is trying to break up. But there's no doubt about it that George Graham has masterminded this Arsenal campaign in Europe so well. Campbell going up for this one. Well, Campbell claims that there was no trick there by him on Di Chiara. And he does seem at the moment, this Czech Republic referee, keen to stop the game at every possibility. Asprilla, Selly, back for Adams. Here's Winterburn, moving quite freely now. Hitting it long towards Alan Smith, scorer of the Arsenal goal. Merson takes it up. Winterburn, Morrow. Winterburn again, scooping it down that line. Smith, very active indeed. Winterburn again trying to keep it going, but it'll be an Arsenal throw.
There's actually a fair bit of space for Arsenal to work down their left-hand side, because Brolin pulls in field an awful lot. The right fullback Benarivo pushes on a bit, and now if they can come out through Winterburn or Merson, I think that looks a good area for them to come out attacking-wise.
Adams with the header. Offside against Kevin Campbell. Brolin, heavily challenged there by Winterburn. Brolin again. Caused England so many problems, did Brolin on the ball at the moment, playing for Sweden in the European Championship match, you may remember, in Stockholm. Here's Kripa. Another corner for Parma. Finished 5th in the Italian First Division, Serie A. They qualify for Europe again, in any case, whether they win or lose here. If they lose, they'll qualify in the UEFA Cup next season. Here's Zola with the kick for them. Big men up from the back, including Minotti. And a goal kick.
They're actually causing Arsenal more problems on those corners than I would have thought, Brian. That's a good little ball in, you see, and it's unusual for Arsenal, particularly Bold and Adams, to get caught in the air there.
The conference we saw at the touchline, I think, partly was to get the message through to Steve Morrow that he's tightly got to man mark Zola. That's the message I get from the touchline. Cini. So there's Morrow. He's there. Zola won't be far away. Minotti playing it for Pin. Di Chiara. It's easy for Seaman. A nasty little slip there. There's obviously a very nasty patch just in the middle of that 6-yard area.
And it was just in the middle, as you said. It's easy for Seaman, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly.
I thought, yeah, that's not the kiss of death, is it?
Tempting providence there. Seaman with a good long clearance now towards Kevin Campbell, quite easily beaten in the air by Apolloni. Selly tangling with Asprilla, and then tangling with Kripa. Another free kick. Pin, Minotti. This will come from Merson.
I'd like to see him attack the defender here, go straight bang at Benarivo. I don't think Benarivo likes having to defend. He likes the luxury of driving forward all the way.
Well, that's a lovely ball by Merson. If Winterburn can get on the end of it, he's done well, but not quite well enough. This is Pin again. Minotti. Zola stopped by Steve Bold's challenge. Minotti chipping one through, easy this time. or David Seaman? Well, it's a real night of enjoyable European football. These big games so often are. Just like to tell you that next season you'll be able to see full coverage of Manchester United in the European Champions League and the Scottish champions too. That's exclusively live on ITV next season. That starts as a league in September, so there's going to be plenty of high-level, exhilarating games in Europe for us at the start of next season. Apolloni and Campbell just getting a little excited. Here's Apolloni. Parma still this goal down. Asprilla makes a nice little ball back again from Zola, stopped though by Davis. Crippa came to Parma from Naples, swings the long ball in there towards Zola again, also formerly with Naples. In fact, Zola, this little man on the ball now, took over from Maradona in the number 10 shirt. Same sort of size and stature as well, and does really well to force a corner for Parma off Nigel Winterburn.
I think Morrow's finding that an unenviable task trying to man-to-man him, because he started to wander out on the right wing now, Zola.
Played short this time, Benrivio. Crippa just took that off the feet. Actually, the flag was up, and Crippa probably did Arsenal a favour there, because I think it was Apolloni just lining up a shot just on the edge of the box there. Another Arsenal player down. This time I think it is Selly.
Just showed us a spriller there, didn't it? And apart from the early one in the first minute, he's been a little bit disappointing. What does worry me is the fact that Tony Adams has had a booking. Now, Adams has put most of the heavy tackles on him. And you know what it's like at this level, Brian. One false step, one mistimed tackle, and that can happen if a player's got pace against you. You know, he can end up in the referee's book again, and that must be a little bit of a worry for the Arsenal camp.
Asprilla challenged firmly and unfairly that time by Steve Bold. And you can see Asprilla having a word with the referee, seeking a bit of protection from these Arsenal centre-backs at the moment. Here's Sensini. Minotti, the captain, getting it forward to Zola. A quick turn by him. Adams had gone with him. Arsenal get it away again.
Every Arsenal player now back behind the ball, defending the width, trying to close off all the little, seal off all the little gaps, and there'll have to be plenty of this done.
Crippa playing it in towards Asprilla. Bold was right at his back. Asprilla still got the shot in, and it was Merson who's done a very good job there, just sitting in there alongside Winterburn. So here's Asprilla turning away beautifully. A little 1-2 possibly with Zola. Zola with a shot, a wonderful save by Seaman.
Brilliant football and brilliant defending by Seaman. I think that's a big moment in the game. Look at this. Looks as if shaping to play a 1-2. Brilliant little dummy. Great little left foot strike, and a terrific tip over from Seaman. That is a big save for Arsenal.
Well, let's see what happens with the corner first, and there's another save by Seaman. A little wink with the right eye there from David Seaman, but that's a super piece of goalkeeping. Mr. Unflappable, big, hearty Yorkshireman David Seaman. Bold with a little touch.
Taking a lot of pressure at the moment, aren't they, Arsenal? They've turned the heat up a little bit at Parma. It'd be nice if Arsenal could control the tempo a little bit and get some more ball possession.
Parma manager Nevio Scala was saying there's not a weak member in this Arsenal side, but there's a good shot that time from Minotti. Zola. He said there's not a weak man in this Arsenal side. That wasn't a very good clearance by Seaman. He said we know, for a relentless 90 minutes. the way Zola and his men are playing at the moment. What is the matter with David Seaman? I'm babbling on, and he's made 3 bad clearances.
Played us a week ago, Brian. He's got problems with the leg. I don't know if it's a hamstring injury or a knee injury.
Seaman.
I mean, David Seaman's a great kicker with the ball, isn't he? One of the best. And I've noticed in the last few games his kicking has been very, very poor. Missed the game on Saturday, didn't he?
Yeah, well, he had a rib injury that he got against Queen's Park Rangers, a bruised rib, which was still troubling him the last day or two.
Yeah, he's got a leg injury as well, I tell you.
Yeah, he's not 100% at the moment, is he, David Seaman? Sensini playing it in again. Asprilla. No foul. Davis knocks it forward, but Smith will not be able to collect. Sensini in very quickly indeed again. Apolloni now.
Somebody's got to try and get hold of the ball. I know it's difficult for Arsenal. Campbell or Merson or somebody's got to try and relieve the pressure. They're taking too much pressure at the moment. I know Arsenal are good at defending and they're very resilient.
Shirt pulling there by Adams, already booked. He's got to watch himself.
That's just the situation. I mean, it's hard, and he's got to be patient, he's got to be disciplined, and he's got to be very, very cautious as Tony Adams.
Payne. 12 Arsenal fouls, only 3 by Parma. This is Payne again. Brolin ahead of him. Benarivo, the fullback, long range, pretty desperate sort of shot that. But they're putting such pressure on Arsenal. The longer this game goes on, the more dramatic you feel it's going to get, as you just wonder whether Arsenal can hang on to this 1-goal lead given to them by Alan Smith.
Obviously, at the end of the game, it would be a brilliant result. It would be a brilliant result if they can get to half-time at this particular scoreline.
David Seaman claiming that the net had come away from the post. Sorry, you're saying, Ron?
I was going to say, if they get to half-time with this, it'll be a fabulous situation, so they can check, regroup, and get their thinking right again. Because at the moment, Parma are playing really, really zippy stuff.
But there's still a goal down. There's Campbell. Adams getting well, doing well. Flick on that time by Kevin Campbell. Into danger here, Campbell, Merson. Oh, the passing just wasn't accurate enough there, but a good piece of play there by Steve Morrow, nicking the ball away from Brolin. A little touch of Arsenal players there. Kevin Campbell trying to get the ball across towards Merson. Arsenal get a corner. Forward goes Bold and Adams.
It's incredible when we're talking about Parma being such a good defensive side. To me, they look as if they're an all-out attacking side. Always have them, because they look very, very brittle at the centre of the defence.
Well, nobody on the far post again for them as Davis plays it in. The ball floated in there. Campbell with a header, and Arsenal full of appeals there for something. Whether they thought there was a handball, they've got another corner. See whether this reveals anything. They claim a handball there against Payne, but it didn't look good, didn't it? Here we are, another corner by Davis. Floated in, they're going towards Bold. They have real trouble, as everybody else does, defending these Arsenal corners, particularly when Bold is there, particularly when Davis can deliver them so accurately to Bold at the near post. Looks for the little flick on, looks for other people to come rushing in behind him. There's another one floated in there. Bold trying to get that little flick on. Zola. There was no room at all there for him. And Selly concedes the free kick.
He's a little live wire, isn't he, Zola? But when Arsenal do get corners, you know, look, you mention about the stature of the keeper. He doesn't seem to fill the goal, does he? There looks a lot of space for them, Arsenal, to hit if they strike a good beat ball in.
I think Arsenal a bit fortunate there. I think Tony Adams was playing them onside. Brolin a little unhappy with that decision. Coming to the last 2 minutes, just inside the last 2 minutes of the first half now. Arsenal still 1 goal up as Seaman hits the long ball forward to the man who scored, Alan Smith. Campbell couldn't quite gather it up. Asprilla. Zola. Adams again there for Arsenal. Well, he's picked up just about everything else, is Adams. The FA Cup, the League Championship trophy twice, Coca-Cola Cup. My goodness, it would be a fantastic thing if he could pick up a European Cup as well tonight. Good play by Merson. Menotti gets it clear. Pin. Little chip ball towards Zola. It comes to Asprilla. Zola stopped by Adams again. Morrow then sticking out the foot, getting it up to Merson. Merson back to Winterburn, and Seaman getting it clear. And there's the man who scored the goal, and how well he scored in Alan Smith. Only his 7th this season, 2 in Europe. The other one, if my memory serves me, was in the 7-0 hammering of Standard Liège in the 2nd round. Arsenal fans with plenty to cheer at the moment. But this is a long way from being over yet. Morrow. Campbell didn't really control that terribly well. Merson's trying to make something of it. Out comes the keeper. Grabbed it well. Long clearance. Adams versus Asprilla again. Adams sure with a header. Selly jumping there with Pin. Davis playing a useful little ball now to Winterburn. Forward to Merson, who you fancy if he could have a go at the defence, is in the mood to do something fairly spectacular. Morrow. Winterburn. Morrow again. Played down the line. And out of play. It's a throw, or is it a free kick? Yes, a shove by Smith. Some good Arsenal banners around the place. One that I've seen, Parma will not get past Adams. Did you get it? Campbell, clearly an obstruction there by Apolloni. Mind, you've got to be a pretty big, brave man to stand in front of Kevin Campbell like that. A yellow card.
It's amazing. That would be an accepted thing in Italy, wouldn't it? I mean, it's absolutely blatant.
And I tell you what, I think the yellow card might be for Asprilla for arguing as well. He's not making it very clear, the referee, to be honest. But Arsenal, what we do know, have got a free kick. Davis again behind this one. Selly's also behind this one. They're waiting for Adams to take his position there. A little dummy run by Davis. That's the one that matters. Go the big defenders. Campbell keeping it in play, does well. Now cross back in again. Smith is in there too. Adams is in there too. A great lead by him, and it just wouldn't come to an Arsenal player on the edge of the box. And suddenly it could be danger at the other end. Brolin to Zola. Asprilla's up ahead of him as well. And Morrow just gets up enough to hold it up for a moment. Asprilla. Dixon. Bowles. My goodness, it was all hands to the pump there. Had a few flutters deep in that penalty area in the Arsenal defence. Creeper. Asprilla. Dixon looking to get it away. And a goal kick given. They're hounding the referee, demanding a penalty. Parma for that.
They really must be joking, mustn't they? A noticeable Asprilla, turn on the referee there, had to be restrained by Menotti. But I mean, there was not even a semblance of a penalty there.
It's a goal kick for Arsenal. There's Asprilla. We fancy he's been booked as well. playing way into time added on at the end of the first half. And surely Asprilla jumping there at Adams, and Adams is down, and now Arsenal's turn to surround the referee and demand some action against that number 11. Now, if he has been booked already and the referee didn't make it terribly clear, if in fact there's another yellow card, it's a yellow card for Asprilla now. He hadn't been booked before, but he has been now.
He certainly needs calming down, doesn't he? I mean, he's been going about like a...
His teammates are saying the same thing to him, Ron. His teammates are saying exactly that to him.
I mean, the incident before, when he was trying to claim a penalty, he turned around and he was going to grab the referee.
Absolutely. It's a free kick for Arsenal.
I actually didn't think the incident that he got booked for over-merited it, you know. I thought he made a sort of a brave leap, if you like, into Adams, and to leap into Adams, you've got to be brave. I just thought Tony Adams fell a bit awkwardly. But I think some of the earlier incidents have led to him getting booked.
Dixon with the kick. Straight through to the keeper. Has gone wrong. I make it 50 minutes he's played now, 5 minutes of time added on.
I'm just trying to recap how much the trainers have been on.
Well, I think they, just now,
oh no, Winterburn.
They came on for Winterburn, but I mean, nothing like 5 minutes, and there's been no time waste. You can only think his Czech Republic watch may well have packed up on him. And he's showing no sign of packing it in. We are close to 51 minutes played of this first half. Zola, stopped by Davis. Here's Dixon coming forward. Haven't seen too much of him being able to do that so far. Campbell can't pick it up. Di Chiara, the little chip in towards Asprilla. Touch back again for Brolin. Asprilla again. Don't let him get a shooting chance, and they didn't. Minotti's shot easily gathered up by Seaman, and he's still not looking at his watch. And he's now played 51 minutes. I think the lines I know, Stuart Houston's down on the touchline to the UEFA official saying, what is he playing at? Doesn't he know that it's 45 minutes each way? Oh, now he has. He's had a good look at it, and as well he has. Still no sign of him blowing it, though. Somebody's suggesting the watch is stopped. I don't know. That's a throw. They're getting a bit agitated on the Arsenal bench.
If there's anything happening.
And you can see Stuart Houston is saying they played 6 minutes of time added over on this first half alone. Davis, Morrow, Dixon. You can imagine the inquest if well then he has finally blown the whistle for half-time with another look at his watch, and Alan Smith's goal is a priceless one so far for Arsenal in this wonderful stadium here in wonderful Copenhagen.
By 1-0, and Alan Smith got it at the end of the field, patrolled by Steve Wilson.
Yeah, as the Arsenal players walk off down the tunnel, Thomas Brolin and Asprilla, the last two Parma players, along with the keeper Luca Pucci, to make it down to the tunnel. Those Parma fans absolutely disgusted at half-time. You know, they will scream every time a Parma player loses a bit of a fingernail in the penalty box. They'll scream for a penalty kick. They've been screaming through the first half, but quite rightly Arsenal lead.
Inaugurado en 1992 y que después de algunos problemas con su terreno de juego aún está en los tribunales.
Организовало для вас, уважаемые любители футбола, творческое объединение «Арена» российского телевидения. Мы видим репортаж из Копенгагена, со стадиона Паркен, где сейчас начнется второй тайм встречи финального матча за кубок обладателей кубков между Арсеналом и Пармой. На 20-й минуте 9-й номер англичан Алан Смит нанес хороший удар по воротам, подработав мяч себе грудью, и забил пока единственный мяч.
Been out here coaching David Seaman, the goalkeeper, just told me that in fact Seaman had to have 3 injections for the pain in his rib that he injured against Queen's Park Rangers. He's got not far from being a cracked rib apparently, but as Bob said, that save he made, that brilliant save in the first half, would have done him a power of good. Also, let me just tell you that John Jensen, sitting alongside working for Danish television, has just said to me, he said, my goodness, aren't those 2 young lads in midfield playing well, Selly and Morrow. Well, let's hope that Arsenal can keep on a good, even, disciplined keel in this second half and bring it home again in a competition, in fact, which English sides have done pretty well in over the years. Where we go in the second half. This is Sensini. Morrow gets an intervention there, but not a particularly good one. Chipped forward again by Cripper towards Asprilla. Winterburn getting in, and getting in again. Minotti, the captain. It was his uncharacteristic mistake, as we saw on the replay, that led to Smith's opportunity, which he took so well after 20 minutes. Arsenal just stick to their guns and come away with a famous victory here in Copenhagen. Here's Pin for Parma. Up to Brolin. Sensini. Pin. Wide again. Di Cayada. Cripper. Stopped by Winterburn there, I think it was, and an offside flag was up. Probably against Brolin. Free kick for Arsenal.
Second half started very much as the first half ended, hasn't it? Arsenal being forced to defend deep. Parma coming at them from all parts of the field, if you like. Concentration, discipline, and above all else, an Arsenal keyword this season, resilience. All qualities they're going to need in abundance now, Brian. And if they can manage to fiddle it out to people like Merson and Campbell and so forth, hopefully, maybe try and nick another goal.
Campbell's put it rather high there. And Campbell, you can see with the shake of the head, oh, he's got a yellow card, whether he shakes the head or not.
It always worries me when the referees start dishing out yellow cards, because he'd seemed fairly lenient early on for the first half an hour or so. And all right, there's been 1 or 2 little exchange, but nothing of any great severity.
Di Chiara, who was the injured man. Asprilla now gets a little 1-2 going, but Brolin's shot falling very comfortably indeed for David Seaman.
I tell you what, that was great build-up between the big 3, Zola, Asprilla and that fella Brolin. I think you'll find he was trying to bend it wide of Seaman's left hand. Some lovely link-up play, great layup from Asprilla.
And Seaman, having gathered the ball there, thought that Brolin was injured, sportingly threw it out of play, and just as sportingly Di Chiara has played it back, thrown it back to David Seaman. Long kick by the Arsenal goalkeeper, finding the head of Alan Smith. Knocked away by Benavario. Asprilla, Benavario. Benavario again. Asprilla. Sensini.
Just had a little dig off the ball there at Asprilla at Merson.
Pin. This is Cripper being watched by Davis. Gets it wide nonetheless to the fullback, Di Chiara. Zola. It's Pin. Pin again. And this is a dangerous looking ball now. It's flicked off Lee Dixon from Chiara, not really knowing Dixon where it was going. Only George Graham's word at half-time was, let's have more of the same in the second half, but now let's make it even tighter. Zola then with the corner. waiting for Apolloni to get forward. Sensini in there as well, the man who scored against Benfica from a corner. And Seaman stretched to the limit there as he punches that away, but it's another corner.
He does hit a mean ball, doesn't he, Zola? I think it's a measure of how good he is. He's switched straight across to this side to take it.
Yeah, you can see him now running a good across there to take that corner. Here's Seaman. 7 corners for Parma, 4 for Arsenal, but 1-0 to Arsenal. That's the real statistic that counts. Zola floating one in there. Seaman coming a long way. Asprilla flying at it at the far post.
He's actually looked more of a threat, or the corners have looked more of a threat when they've taken these outswingers.
Great test of this man's temperament. He's by no means 100% fit. He was regarded as doubtful last weekend after he bruised that rib against Queen's Park Rangers. His old club. Adams gets it away. This is a good break by him. Forward to come for Asprilla. An opportunity here for Zola maybe. And in the end, Arsenal get it away. Yellow-shirted bodies were flying about in that penalty area. One went down. I think it was Zola. They looked towards the referee. Thankfully for Arsenal, he said nothing other than a throw. And Seaman gathers that one. And a throw out to Campbell. Only Smith is up there with him as Parma try to get back. Shoving the back, free kick for Arsenal. Ron.
Well, in that little incident we saw some magical footwork from Asprilla. Well, this is Arsenal attacking now. This is a free kick. This will bring them some well-earned relief, by the way, because they have been taking a great amount of pressure since they turned around.
Arsenal have a player down at the other end. It's Lee Dixon. It's a little flick up there between the players. They thought that Arsenal were play acting and time wasting. My goodness, we know this referee adds on enough time. And Dixon looks to be in trouble. That's the Livio Scala, the coach of Parma, said to be on £180,000 a year. I don't mean that, do I? I mean a lot more than that, £850,000 a year. 46-year-old farmer's son. You looked at me with disbelieving eyes when I said that, Ron Atkinson.
I thought you meant a week then.
Well, there's George. Certainly worth every penny he's getting at the moment as well. And Eddie McGoldrick, I think that is warming up for Arsenal. Well, he turned an ankle against West Ham on Saturday, pronounced himself fit last night. Now, where were we? A free kick for Arsenal. And I think there's going to be a yellow card for Ian Selly. A time wasting. So now Arsenal need to get on with it. Paul Davis chipping it in. Up goes Bold. Well, that's an easy one for Luca Bucci.
Set a dangerous precedent there now, the referee, with the bookings, particularly that one for wasting time.
Asprilla, but again Adams holding him at bay, but his headed clearance went straight to Zola. Here's Brolin. Minotti. Brolin. Pin has made a little run through there. Dixon with a headed clearance as another Parma player went falling to the ground just ahead of him. hoping to attract attention, but doesn't do so. This is Bucci again, who's had a terrific season for Parma, the goalkeeper. Sensini, the Argentine international. Hit forward again to his number 11, Asprilla. Campbell. Foul that time by Apolloni. A free kick for Arsenal, still leading 1-0. Davis for Dixon. Selly has just threaded that ball through nicely to Winterburn, and now Mercer down this left-hand side, surrounded by yellow shirts, but finds Nigel Winterburn, who's always a good crosser of the ball, and Campbell given offside.
That's their best move of the half, isn't it? There is a space on this side, as we said in the first half, for them to open out on if they can. But it's not easy. I mean, by the time the Arsenal midfield players get the heads up, they're being hounded, they're being pressured. I mean, Parma have really come out since the turn of since the interval and tried to throw everything at them.
Selly. It's a free kick for Arsenal.
Yeah, these are helping them. These little free kicks are helping the Arsenal take the heat out of the game and maybe getting to the opponent's half of the field.
Just breaks up their rhythm a bit, doesn't it, as well? Now they need to take it, not waste any time. Selly's already had a yellow card for just that. Steve Bold with this one. Floating it towards Campbell on the far side, up to Smith. He's taken a buffeting as Alan Smith, as he always does. The ball cleared long towards Asprilla. Bold has gone with him. And that just bounced conveniently for Bold there, when for a moment I thought Asprilla might get away from him.
I would think that all Parma's best moves have been, or best attacking moves have been, when actually Arsenal look as if they're starting to attack, where they've got space to run into, where this fella on the ball now, Asprilla, he loves space to go into.
Selly battling. This is Pin. Minotti, the captain. Sensini can be dangerous when he comes forward. Di Chiaro, the fullback, loves to get forward. Asprilla, and Selly knocks it away.
So they're pegging the Arsenal back so much. Campbell and Merson are both back. You know, every ball knocked out now goes straight to a Parma player.
Sensini, Pin on this side now, with his fullback outside him. The skipper tries a shot, but it's well wide. Minotti. So a goal kick for Arsenal. Smith. Up goes Campbell. Minotti with the long clearance. Adams backing away. Brolin. Morrow getting there. Nice little touch there from Steve Bold. Finds Merson. Down he goes. Advantage played. Paul Davis sweeping it wide. That's a good ball. Space down here, as Ron Atkinson was saying, for Nigel Winterburn. Smith goes tumbling. And Winterburn's cross this time is a poor one.
Yeah, disappointing twice. Nigel Winterburn, as you so rightly said, has got a very good left foot, good deliverer of the ball, hasn't produced on the last two occasions, been up there. That particular occasion, young Selly had made a very good run into the penalty box.
Here's Brolin for Parma. To Pin. Merson holding it up with a header. Apolloni challenged by Smith, but they get the ball away to Di Chiaro. On that far touchline, the left back. Brolin. Cross towards Asprilla, in a lot of space. Throws the ball down with some annoyance there, caught offside. As Arsenal subs warming up tonight. Andy Linnigan, Alan Miller, Eddie McGoldrick, Ray Parler and Paul Dickoff. kick towards Smith. Knocked back towards Steve Morrow. Battled well there, trying to hold up Brolin. Well, Benarivo was lucky there. That didn't fall at all conveniently for Alan Smith, and he's found his fellow fullback on the far side there, Alberto De Chiara. Cripper getting it wide. Here's Zola. It's crossed now towards Brolin. Absolutely inch perfect, but no troubles at all for David Seaman. In a competition that Spurs got the ball rolling for us with a victory in 1963. West Ham won it in 65. Manchester City in 70. Chelsea in 71. Smith going up. Minotti gets it away. Glasgow Rangers weighed in 1972. And Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen in 83. Everton in 85. And of course, Alex Ferguson again with Manchester United in 91. So it's been a good tournament for English and British clubs. And Arsenal leading here 1-0 tonight. Still with an awful lot of football to be played. Sensini coming forward now. Brolin gets it to Zola, but he missed it completely. Campbell. Smith. Merson. Just can't keep possession long enough to get respite one, can they? As Cripper takes it up again. De Chiara. Asprilla is waiting there, but Steve Bold was waiting too. Benarivo. Minotti. Cripper's shot charged down. Davis now for Arsenal. Dixon hitting it forward, but
I think that's an example of what we're talking about, Brock. They haven't got any targets because Campbell's been forced back, because Merson's been forced back. When they win possession, they can even play a little short ball, which has got a good chance of being pressurised into trouble, or they can just knock it up and hope and buy a bit of time and hope something else happens. But at the moment, Arsenal are having to absorb too much pressure. Sometimes when you're absorbing pressure, you know, that gets defenders conditioned to defending. But at the moment, it's just a little bit too much for my liking. I'd like to see them carry the fight a little bit.
How can they best do that?
Well, people, the likes of Merson, where they've got a problem is they haven't really got a midfield runner. Somebody that can sprint from the midfield. I mean, all the three midfield players, Davis, Selly might be able to do it too. I said Selly, Morrow and Davis are all sitting type of midfield players. So the onus is really on Campbell and Merson to try and carry the fight. And Winterburn.
Smith battling away there. Campbell couldn't quite hold on to it though. Brolin sweeping it around, but look at Bold getting across there. Read that superbly.
You know, they've shown that if they can manage to get a bit of pressure on and get some free kicks, Arsenal, free kicks and throw-ins, they can cause problems, and they could get a second goal.
Throw taken by the goalkeeper there as Parma desperate to keep this going, desperate to keep their rhythm going. Here's Sensini, desperate above all else for a goal. Creeper being challenged by Davis. In goes Bold again. For a moment he'd left the ball behind him, but there were willing hands and feet around him as Arsenal just keep possession here. Smith did really well there and well deserved his free kick. Took it quickly, found Winterburn with it. It's got Merson outside him. Oh, but that's given away again. Pin forward to Asprilla. Oh, he's turned Bold beautifully this time, but Bold's coming back at him again and supported by Winterburn. That was gone.
What a great thing for Arsenal that Asprilla decided to turn back on himself. He was actually the nearest player to Arsenal's goal when he beat Bold.
Davis to Dixon. Here come Arsenal again to Campbell. Played back again to Paul Davis. Dixon. Oh, Campbell.
If he could have just got the hook on that, that could have been trouble for Parma. And that's the sort of thing, if Dixon hasn't had much opportunity tonight to stride out from the back. I mean, he's at his best when he's doing that, but he's been occupied.
Cripper for Parma. Pin. Merson, that fell conveniently for him. Some nice little play there, but Winterburn couldn't quite get the end of it, and here's Benarivo. Could be problems here. Asprilla, but the shot is a poor one.
For a player of his quality, that was almost a gift horse. I mean, that's a good break there. I mean, that may be a bit harsh, but I would have expected him to have done far better there. The ball was set up nicely on his left foot.
Winterburn is struggling. And this is Campbell's, well, it wasn't really a chance, a half chance the moment before.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming over his shoulder. It's a hard one. It's just sometimes they stick with you, and if they stick with you, that would have put Arsenal in a very favourable situation.
Smith to Winterburn, who really has been hobbling the last minute or so. And he is really struggling, Nigel Winterburn.
If it should stay, you know, at 1-0, and let's hope to that it does. I think Alan Smith deserves, not only for his goal, he doesn't half deserve a big hand for his goal. He's led the line, and there he is. He's fought a long cause.
And not without punishment as well.
I think he's entitled to have a pop there. I don't think that was a foul. But it reminds me, do you remember when Gary Birtles did the same in Hamburg? In Madrid against Hamburg?
Yes.
Just a lone ranger. And he reminds me a lot of him tonight.
Here's Sensini. Well, Nottingham Forest won that night by a 0-0. Let's hope Arsenal can do the same here. But here's Brolin. Asprilla. Got to hold him out. Di Chiara. It's not a bad cross there towards Zola. Asprilla again. But Arsenal defending well again. Tony Adams, who else? Little ball from Campbell. Little ball from Davis. Dixon with a bit of space to look up and think. Finds Davis again. A sensible ball to his captain, who in turn looks for Bold. Bold lets it go through the legs to Winterburn. Smith. Selly. Arsenal playing it about with some style now. Davis gets it back to Dixon.
Yeah, this is good. Make them chase the ball for a little while.
Oh, but now, of all people, Adams has given it away to Brolin. Asprilla chasing, just keeps it in play. Bold holding off him for the moment. Little chip by him, and a flag up for an offside against Brolin on the far side. "22 minutes of the second half gone. It's going to be nerve-wracking stuff from now on in, I think, Ron.
Definitely, but there is a time in the game. You get your time. Now, Arsenal have dug deep. They've worked hard. They've stayed ahead in the game. They've had to concede a lot of space. But there will be a time when they'll get another chance before the end of the game. It's just so important that they make sure nothing untoward happens out there on them.
Here's Campbell, hustled by Apolloni.
Because there may come a time, you know, when the Parma team, they start to lose belief. They've hit the post, they've had good chances, and sometimes you think to yourself, it's not our night. And that may very well come into their thinking.
Smith, Dixon. Now Davis, can he measure up a good cross here? He can indeed, towards Paul Merson. Didn't reach Merson, it was fullback Benarivo. Wasn't too complimentary towards Merson at that point. Brolin has just come to the touchline to ask for something of the bench. Sensini, Brolin, Benarivo, Sensini, being chased by Smith. Remember, Parma the holders, looking to become the first side ever to win the Cup Winners' Cup in 2 successive seasons, at the moment being denied by Arsenal, leading by 1-0. Alan Smith's goal in the 20th minute of the first half.
And Brian, the man that won it them last year, is just limbering up, waiting to come on. Nelly.
Here's Pinlow. And Dixon slipped at the crucial moment. Di Chiara's shot charged down, and they just nudge it back to Seaman, who whacks it gratefully away. Smith chasing this, but Sensini is fouled by Smith. It's a throw, it's a free kick to Parma. Eriksson. They can't get Melly on at the moment. A little touch by Smith, a good one. Merson with a chance for the first time in the game to attack the defence, and it didn't quite fall for him. Just hoping for something a little better there. Bold for Arsenal. Just taking it away from Zola. Playing it wide here for Dixon. Up to Smith again. It was not the best control by Alan Smith. It's a lovely little ball he flicked on a moment ago, though, for Paul Merson. Adams knocking it forward again. It's an Arsenal throw. Now they'll get the substitution. They're going to take off Pin, the midfield man. They're going to put another striker on. Alessandro Melli, a 24-year-old Sicilian, coming on as Pin goes off. He was their top scorer in the league last season, was Melli. He's not played for nearly 5 weeks, though, because of injury, but he certainly has a goal touch about him.
I thought he was absolutely brilliant last year in the final. Let's hope he hasn't rediscovered that.
A throw to Parma. Luigi Apolloni. Another throw for Arsenal. Arsenal fans here giving such terrific support for their team tonight. Campbell. Several of them said to me, have a word for our wives and girlfriends at home while we're enjoying ourselves here. Tell them we're enjoying ourselves, and we hope they are too at home watching it live on TV. Certainly know there are lots of pub parties and so around the Highbury area. Hope you're enjoying it as well. Just hope that the Gunners can keep going. We're halfway, more than halfway through the second half now. That's a foul by Steve Bold on Melli. No sign of a yellow card, Ron.
No, I think that might just show the inconsistency, but this is a very, very late challenge. Very late challenge.
Here's Zola now for Parma. Minotti well forward. Di Chiara pushing so many defenders and midfield forward now. Selly gets that one away, only as far as Minotti. Brolin again. Hitting it towards Melli. There's his header, but this is easy for David Seaman.
See, when they were attacking there, Brian, even Alan Smith was about 12 yards outside his own penalty area. Now that's commendable. You know, everybody's working, everybody's competing, but it does mean when Arsenal win the ball back, there's nowhere to go.
Well, they've got forward now, and Seaman hitting it towards Smith, who's now at the other end of the field. Plays this ball back for Winterburn. Just get the feeling it's real edge-of-the-seat stuff now for Arsenal fans from now on. Can they hold on to this lead? A foul that time by Smith on Sensini. Minotti. Brolin. Di Chiara. Some space out there for him. They're asking Davis to come and close it down. Kripa. Zola. Asprilla. But again, Arsenal just doing enough to hold up Asprilla, Steve Bold in particular. Here's Merson running it towards the touchline, hits it off Zola. So it's a throw to Arsenal.
That's where it's fell well for Arsenal in this half. Asprilla has gone against Bold an awful lot, which means they don't run the risk of an extra booking, like Adams are already on possible 2 bookings. Hasn't had to really make too many lunges at Asprilla this half.
Nigel Winterburn to Alan Smith. Down the line, Campbell first to react to that, but Sensini just gets there before him. Back to the keeper, Bucci. And Di Chiara being closed down by Davis. Sensini. Zola. Benarivo. Can Winterburn hold him at bay? Well, Winterburn was doing his best, and as he was doing his best, in steps Steve Bold again. Australia, he smacked it straight in the face there. It wasn't his fault, but I mean, Winterburn got in the way of it, and that would have been really painful. Smacked him right in the face, and I'm glad that the referee has decided, yeah, that Gary Lewin needs to come on. That would have been really painful. And some Parma fans behind that goal throwing objects onto the field. And, well, whether, I don't know, maybe Seaman's been hit. I think there's a possibility that David Seaman was holding his head. We'll have a look at this first. Oh. Now, has Seaman been hit by something? Or is he just trying to protect himself?
It might just be precautionary, that.
Eh?
Might just be precautionary, that.
Well, Steve Bold is certainly holding... what's he holding? Maybe it's a drink that's been given to him by Gary Lewin, I don't know. But they're calling actually for stretcher, I think, for Nigel Winterburn. And he's obviously in a pretty distressed state there. He caught that ball from Asprilla full in the face. I mean, certainly no... Well, Seaman has been hit.
That indeed is a great pity, isn't it?
Wow,
it's been
ridiculous.
A smashing match.
It's been a wonderful match.
And the Parma fans have actually been very, very quiet. I mean, they're obviously outnumbered, by the look of it, about 4-1 by the Arsenal fans, and have been outshouted by to the same extent. But I mean, that's when it becomes a bit sad.
And Winterburn still down. Arsenal still have not brought on a substitute.
Well, they've got Morrow, of course. They could go straight in there, couldn't they? And then slot either the Parlour or somebody like that into midfield, or McGoldrick.
I think McGoldrick might well come on. McGoldrick might in fact slot straight into that position. I would have thought at fullback, possibly played right fullback on Saturday against West Ham. There's Zola with a long searching ball, but finding only David Seaman at the other end of it. Time is advancing, and Arsenal step by step getting closer. And Winterburn with the doctor again in attendance there. And Winterburn looks as though he might be coming back on, ahead of that time by Tony Adams. Little touch for Selly. A long clearance by Steve Bold. Campbell first to react to that, and he's onside. Played onside by Minotti. Smith gets possession. Can Arsenal forge another chance here? Morrow. Campbell, I don't think will get to that. Benarivo back to goalkeeper Bucci. And Winterburn is back on the pitch, and Arsenal back at full strength. Melly. Got to be watched. Being allowed to go a long way, but everything behind that one. And the great pace by Melly. Seaman taking no chances. Certainly the goal mouth at that end is a lot firmer than the one he had to deal with in the first half. 33,765 is the crowd here in Copenhagen tonight. Campbell finding Davis. Davis, who made his first appearance for Arsenal, I think in a game against Spurs back in 1980, the year when Arsenal were last in the European final. Zola. Arsenal's throw. Well, I make it about 11 minutes left.
Shall we tempt fate?
No, don't.
And just say that Parma do seem to have lost a little bit of their belief.
I want the viewers to know that I haven't said that.
He's gone very deep, hasn't he, since Melly's come on?
Sensini. Arsenal with a lot of people back behind the ball. Brolin to Di Chiara. Good challenge again by Adams. Again, a real captain's part by him. That's a real old cliche, but I honestly don't know any other way of describing the part that Adams plays game in and game out, and particularly in this European campaign. Zola now finding or looking for Bonavero, but Winterburn coming away with it. Sensini.
Where Arsenal's defensive strategy has been good, you know. Every time the ball has gone wide, Arsenal have forced Parma to go in field. They've been very reluctant to let them get around the back in wide areas.
Asprilla. But Adams is there.
For that very reason, Brian, they know they've got strength in the middle and in the heart of their defence. And if they can push all the passing movements and all the dribbling movements into that little area.
Could be problems here. Zola looking for Asprilla. And a terrific bit of play by Bold again. The challenge there was as good, as important as it was in the very first minute of the game when he stopped Asprilla. And Smith spreading it wide for Dixon. That looked really dangerous, didn't it?
He's been excellent, Paul. He really has, because funnily enough, he's had to deal with the major threats this half. The pace against him, and you wonder sometimes with Steve Ball when the pace does go against him, but he's dealt with everything tonight.
Arsenal's free kick taken by Davis. Campbell trying to slip away from Apolloni, trying to dispossess Creeper, but here's Creeper with a long ball forward. Steve Bold behind it again for Arsenal. Davis, he's caught Adams on the wrong foot just for a moment. Dixon to Adams, slipped along the line for Campbell. Inside again for Davis, a little touch by him, and he's taking it on. No foul. Getting it forward to Melli. Asprilla seeking to turn. Merson right back there helping out. Bang goes the ball again away, and Arsenal have a player down deep in the Parma half. It's Paul Davis. Eight minutes left. Plus some time to be added on. Hang like ours for Arsenal, and they'll slip away like seconds for Parma. Bold has got cramp. My goodness, if anybody needs a bit of respite and deserves a bit of attention, it's Steve Bold tonight. This is how Davis got his injury, challenged there by Apolloni. He's all right, and the Parma players, I think, saying to the referee, make sure you add the time on. And since he had about 6 minutes on in the first half, he certainly will. George Graham knows, well, if it's not exactly within, well, Davis is going off on a stretcher. After a challenge by Apolloni.
They get that stretcher on and off that quickly. I'm not quite, you're never sure whether to be alarmed or not.
Well, they're making signals to the Arsenal bench.
I actually wonder whether Paul Davis would in fact come off, because there has been a tendency, hasn't it, to bring him off in European games in the latter stages.
Well, Arsenal for the moment down to 10 men, and Brolin trying to take advantage of it, but Dixon getting in there. Davis wants to come back on. That's a good sight for Arsenal. But they've still got men warming up, Arsenal. You sense there will be a substitution soon. Davis on again. Cripper getting ever deeper. Asprilla, here comes Morrow. Little touch by him, but he's lost it now. Cripper in again. Davis trying to close him down. Minotti, the captain. Seconds still ticking away. 6 minutes left now as Brolin sweeps the ball down the line, but thankfully for Arsenal over the line, and it'll be a throw. Winterburn will take it. Sensini with a header for Parma. Smith again. Merson. Smith again. Good control in difficult conditions there. Ball goes out of play. Touchdown by Melli. Asprilla couldn't get on the end of it. Good header there. A good leap by Zola. Asprilla again. Trying to get a 1-2 going. Parma fans claim there was a handball by Arsenal on the edge of the box. Benarivo to Minotti, stopped by Davis. Here's Selly, hit forward in territory occupied only by Parma players. Inside the last 5 minutes, and Arsenal still with this 1-goal advantage. Can they defend as securely as they have for so long and bring about a glorious chapter in their history here tonight in Copenhagen? So little time left now for Parma, but here's Sensini, plenty of yellow shirts forward again for them. Melli playing it in towards Asprilla. And it's Adams who comes away and hits it, well, straight at Di Chiara. It'll be a goal kick. And Arsenal are warming up Eddie McGoldrick, and in fact McGoldrick is now stripped off.
That was a big chance for Parma, that. They'd have expected to have done better with that, Brian.
McGoldrick coming, and Merson is the man coming off.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
Well, surprisingly, I don't know. I mean, Merson has missed some football recently, whether the fitness level's not quite up to it, or whether George has just thought the defensive qualities of McGoldrick might be a touch better.
Here's Smith. If you were awarding a man of the match, you'd be struggling tonight, wouldn't you, to choose between Adams and Bold and Smith as well in particular?
I would give it, well, so I'd wait 5 minutes and see what actually happened, but I think Smith and Bold for me have been the two best players.
Smith has lost his boot for the moment, and Parma know they can waste no time now.
I actually think Bold has played better than Adams tonight. I think that's how well he's played.
Here's Sensini coming forward. Smith, no time to put the boot on. Di Chiara. Some victory chants coming out from the Arsenal fans, but it might be a little too early yet. Selly getting a big boot behind that one, but not getting a lot of distance on it. Sensini again. What does the watch say? About 2.5 minutes to go.
So that'll be another quarter of an hour left with this ref, won't it?
That's right. Little touch again by Selly. Looking to get McGoldrick's fresh legs away, but McGoldrick couldn't keep it in play. Here's the goal again. Smith's goal. And at the other end, and a free kick right on the edge of the Arsenal area. No, it's given Arsenal's way. The linesman was flagging.
It's a big flag. That's a big flag, because
that is a big
the referee
flag.
The referee has actually given handball.
Yeah, he has given handball, but you can see the linesman was absolutely 100% right. It was offside.
I would have liked to have seen Zola have a free kick from that range at this stage.
No. Just one last shove for George Graham and his men now, and the jigsaw, as far as he's concerned, will be complete. League Championship, FA Cup, Coca-Cola Cup, and now just so close to the Cup Winners' Cup. A free kick for Arsenal. That'll delight the hordes of Arsenal fans who are here in Copenhagen tonight. Davis with it.
Actually, they haven't enjoyed Alan Smith in the air at all, have they, the Parma team?
He'll add some time on, Ron, I'm afraid, won't he?
If the first half, unless he's changed watches.
Unless he's changed watches. Davis slipping it wide to Eddie McGoldrick. McGoldrick's cross. No trouble there for Luca Bucci. Dixon, good header. Dixon, good challenge. And Dixon chasing away now. Smith in the middle, but I don't think it'll get to him since Senior's got too much experience.
They got a bit excited there, Lee Dixon, going forward for one of the few occasions.
So little time left, and here come Parma through Brolin. Zola. Morrow's gone with him. Swiftly challenged Morrow. He's struggling a bit there, but Winterburn gets it into touch. Beneviro. Time added on now. We've played 90 minutes. But Arsenal still need to defend here. Adams gets it away. And then Winterburn with the touch. It's into touch for a throw for Parma. The last seconds. And Arsenal still need to defend. Seaman underneath this one. Gathered well, high above his head. And Arsenal are almost there. Seaman with his clearance. John Jensen's gone on the bench. He's left his commentating position alongside me. Campbell shrugging off the challenge. Smith is waiting in the middle. Campbell's gone down, and the referee hasn't given a free kick. It looked to me like a shove. And Arsenal might well have been happy with the respite, but Bold is there with a header. Very close indeed now. He played a minute of time added on. Asprilla, this could be dangerous. Here's Melli. Zola outside him. Wrong-footing Winterburn just for a moment. But then Winterburn got his body in the way. McGoldrick now just playing it away down the line, as any good pro should do. No, so near the end. Winterburn, don't give it away now, Arsenal. Morrow playing it down the line. Smith offside. He didn't look it to me.
He definitely wasn't offside, and he'd held his run that long. He wasn't offside at all there, Alan Smith.
Brolin tried to play it into Asprilla. Selly with the clearance, and he's, well, been fouled. A free kick for Arsenal. The referee looking at the watch. Arsenal very nearly assured of a place in Europe now next season. Dixon plays it along the line. Apolloni. Got to hold him up. Melli. Right at the very last now. Still with Melli. Adams makes a challenge. Comes to Zola. But a poor one by him. Smith just need to keep possession. He's found McGoldrick now. Down the line, McGoldrick. And down the line he goes. Benarivo, though, gets it off him. McGoldrick going in. Brolin very deep. Again, the Arsenal fans imploring the referee to blow that final whistle. 2.5 minutes of time added on. He looks at the watch. He's waiting for a chance to blow the whistle. An offside flag goes up, and Arsenal, I think, are going to be there now. They started as underdogs, but you wouldn't get a bet on them now.
And it's down to the thing that's been significant in all the campaign, isn't it? Resilience. They've stuck at the task. There's George. He wants him to kick it as far upfield as he can.
And David Seaman obliges. Long towards Smith. Just need to get possession again. Benarivo hits it high. Bold for the umpteenth time gets a header in. A flag goes up for an offside. They think it's a final whistle, but sadly for Arsenal, it's not yet. Zola playing it wide for Cripper. They've got to pull everybody back. Here's Cripper now. Played in again for Melli. The flag is up again. No, the flag is up. Don't worry, Arsenal fans. The flag is up, and it won't count.
It was up well in advance. The linesman was very, very quick. Like to see that one again. Oh, what a good decision.
Yeah, good decision, linesman. Well played.
Brilliant decision.
Steve Morrow saying to the referee, come on, ref, when are you going to blow that whistle? 24 years Arsenal have waited for a European trophy after winning the Fairs Cup back in 1970. Now they really are just seconds away from a real golden evening and a great, great celebration.
What a lovely place for the ball to be at this stage. Far away from your goal.
Keep it in that half. Here's Smith. Is he going to finish it off now? No, it's stopped, but it's a corner. Surely Parma can't get it to the other end now.
Do you think we shall see Tony Adams and Steve Ball pounding up?
No, they've stayed right back. 2, 4, 5 of them have stayed back. And they're saying to Eddie McGoldrick, take as much time as you possibly can. Referee looking at the linesman to see. It's all over! Arsenal have won it! Alan Smith's goal after 20 minutes. And some fabulous defending by Arsenal. George Graham, he's won just about everything he could win at home, and now he's won an important event in Europe. Arsenal in Europe next season, and Parma, who came here as favourites, have been beaten. They've shown some great football, Parma, but they've met some resolute defence by Arsenal, and you cannot give too much credit to men like Steve Bold, to men like Tony Adams, and to men like Alan Smith. Smith's goal is the one that separates it, and Bucci, the goalkeeper, who's had a fabulous season himself, Brolin in despair. A nice touch there as Paul Merson tries to console the Parma goalkeeper. And Arsenal flags are flying everywhere in Copenhagen. And Ian Wright, the man who missed it, as joyous as anybody could be for the men who've won it. John Jensen as well, who missed out on the final. It's a fabulous night for Arsenal and for English football generally. Good, solid defensive discipline, teamwork and tactics have overcome a superior side technically. David Seaman with a fantastic save in the first half. And what a night, Ron.
Tremendous. A night for guts, a night for all that's best in what we call English football.
Well, it takes away the sadness of that event in 1980 in this very competition when they lost on penalties to Valencia. Stuart Houston there and George Graham between them have been absolutely master tacticians. The backroom staff that have been shuttling to and fro from Italy, keeping an eye on the opposition, have got it absolutely right, and none more so than Tony Adams there, who first captained Arsenal at the age of 21. In that time he's lifted the Football League title twice, or the Football League title twice, the FA Cup once, the Coca-Cola Cup as well, and now this is the cup that he will take home to North London tonight. Asprilla, who had that wonderful chance in the opening minute of the game and really didn't show an awful lot after that. Merson, who came off as a substitute, and Arsenal down at that Arsenal end, and goodness knows when the presentation of the trophy will take place. Alan Smith's goal, and what a priceless one it was. A slight blemish in the Parma defence, and Smith pounced on it. The ball fell invitingly for him, and he nicked it in just off the post. Well, John Jensen and Ian Wright don't get winners' medals. Only those who are taking part tonight, either on the field or on the subs bench, get those. And that face says it all. Parma just couldn't get it right on the night, but he could. And here's the moment when it all came right for Arsenal after 20 minutes. Minotti's clearance falling so invitingly to Alan Smith. Still work to be done with that trusty left boot in off the post. A sight for sore eyes if you support Arsenal. They're sportingly handshaking with the Parma players at the moment while you're watching this. You're going to make a point, Ron.
Just saying though, that's good. The Parma lads, Parma team going up to the Arsenal fans to their end, and they're getting a rapturous welcome.
Yeah, it's nice to have seen that actually. The Parma players, as we see this goal again, the Parma players going down to the Arsenal end. That's excellent. Well, we're still some way from getting the presentation. Leonard Johansson, the president of UEFA, is waiting patiently as we see yet again the crucial moment. Let's have a word with Gary Newbon, with George Graham. I think George is down there. Let's see if we can get a word.
George, I think they can hear us now. Right, George, congratulations, a very good performance defensively.
Yeah, tremendous character. We looked a bit jaded and they pinned us back very well. They're a top quality team, but I knew if we got a goal, we would find it difficult to score against us.
Excellent performances by several of your players, including Alan Smith and Steve Bolt.
I thought Alan Smith done very well on his own up front. We're like to have kept the ball a bit more.
Okay, where's the presentation?
They deserve everything they get.
Well, that's the moment. Tony Adams lifts the trophy. David Seaman has his moment as well. My goodness, he deserves it. And they're lining up on that podium now. The Arsenal players, each being received joyously by the Arsenal fans. Some 11,000 of them were here in Copenhagen tonight. Let's have another word with George Graham. Let's carry on then. Eddie McGoldrick, they're each taking the turn. So there we are. It's been a wonderful night of European football. A fantastic triumph then for Arsenal football.
Magnificent goal. I thought he had a tremendous game tonight. I thought it was a marvellous team effort. Arsenal just having a good back four and a good goalkeeper. They've got a team who defends exceptionally well for each other, because you just can't have a back four. The whole team has got to do it.
John Jensen, look at this. An enormous roar goes up as he picks up the European Cup Winners' Cup. This will be the big roar of the night. It belongs to Ian Wright, the European Cup Winners' Cup, and you can hear the fans love that. He played no role tonight, but he still celebrates and moves forward and dances around and hugs the rest of the Arsenal players. Wife Debs is back at home expecting her first baby any day now, and she will be celebrating tonight with the Arsenal players as they dance a jig of delight. What an era this has been for that club. League champions twice, League Cup winners twice, FA Cup winners, and now winners of the Cup Winners' Cup. And little Tony Donnelly is out there as well. Yep. Tony Donnelly, who's Mr. Kit, Mr. Organisation, Mr. Everything behind the scenes at Arsenal. And Tony Donnelly, who packs it in at the end of this season. I'm sure Arsenal have won this cup every bit as much for you as for anyone else.
Oh, he's been a marvellous man, Tony. He could write a book in the stories that he's got with all the players from my day and right up to the present day, and he's retiring in 2 weeks' time, and I'm sure he'll miss it very much, and he must be so happy tonight, like the players are. There's nothing quite like winning a cup. The emotion in it is unbelievable. My son's here tonight as well, and I'm sure he's really, really happy, and I hope he just doesn't drink too much when he's getting home tonight.